life has got a little crazy the last few months. It's been a while since we uploaded to this channel, so we have a lot of catching up to do. If you're new here, we are Jelly and Pickle. We started this channel with us humans, Joe and Ellie, and our dog, Pickle. Well, the first big update is there's a new furry friend in our life, and that is our 7-month-old rescue pup, Winnie. We rescued her in February this year, and when we first brought her home, she was an incredibly nervous and shy little dog, but she has definitely grown into the bravest and cheekiest little soul. Pickle and Winnie are best of friends, and Winnie has definitely become part of the family. The second big life update is I am now self-employed. I quit my 9-to-5 at the start of the year for a number of reasons, but mainly for my mental health and to work full-time on my 2 small businesses, NelliumCrafts and PicklesPaw. Links to everything can be found in the description. So now we've done the life updates, what about the house and garden? It's been pretty miserable weather in the UK for the last few months, so we had limited time to work in the garden. But that doesn't mean we haven't done a lot. I wasn't the best at getting all the video footage of the process and the progress of what we've done, but I have a lot of photos, so I thought, why don't I go on a little tour of the garden, show you the before photos, and then show you the afters in full HD video glory. So, let's start at the top. So this is our back garden, where the dogs can come and go, do their business and all that. This was the priority to get secure and safe, so the first big update is the fence. Joe was determined to do this by himself to keep it as cheap as we could, so essentially not paying for somebody else to install it for us. And I have to say, he did an amazing job. Of course, with all the help from family, who we are always grateful for. We live in the fenlands, which basically means all the soil around here is solid clay. So digging post holes and any sort of groundwork is back-breaking. This fence line was also previously full of trees and plants, so a lot of digging up roots and brambles. You're going to be hearing that phrase a lot, by the way. There is a big apple tree and pear tree here too, that were both dying and covered in ivy. We weren't sure if they would survive, but they are currently starting to bloom again, so we're very happy about that. Next, let's go down to the workshop. You can watch us clear this in our first garden clearing video, but that was in September 2023, so we've done a bit more since then, mainly just keeping control of the grass and brambles. But we fully uncovered the concrete base that I found in the last video and cleaned it all up a bit. Yes, this part with the greenhouse has got away from us a bit, but I am planning on cleaning this all up soon and hopefully we'll film it all. So now let's walk through the forest area. We haven't done much here. This is the bottom of the priority list. I tried to save this tree from all the ivy that was growing up it. We've cleaned up this summer house. We had to do an emergency repair on the roof because it was raining so much and it was leaking pretty badly. We might try and replace the roof at some point, but that would be a fairly big job because the wood here is pretty rotten. Let's go down to the stables and paddock. This area behind the summer house has had a big transformation. We first cleared the area and uncovered another concrete base. We then had the willow tree pollarded, which looks very dramatic, but this is apparently the best thing for it, and it will just grow back better in the next few years. The tree surgeons asked if we wanted the wood chip, which we said yes to, not realising how much wood chip it would actually create. So we ended up spreading most of it over this area. We haven't touched the stables, but we're starting to make amazing progress with the paddock. Until this happened a few days ago. It's not that.
It's a big tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get through it.
Jesus Christ.
All of that as well, which is what it's. I was going to leave that.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big tree that was completely dead and rotten roots, and it's fallen straight onto the paddock. It is our tree, unfortunately, so that's going to add even more cleanup, but hey, might make a pretty good video. Before the tree fell, we had managed to cut back all the brambles that were overtaking the hedge. Chop back all the self-seeded nasty spiky trees and slowly trying to cut the grass with trimmers. The problem is all these termite hills that our mower can't get over, so they need to be flattened before we can get to cut the grass. But we have a couple of big gardening weekends planned, so we are hopefully going to be focusing on the paddock area to get this under control too. There's these sections behind the bramble walls that belong to us too, and a load of rubbish were left by the previous owners that we just don't talk about for now. That's a later jelly issue. Next, into the field area. This is the first thing we did to get a bigger grass area that we could let the dogs into, and they can have a big run around. This temporary green fencing that we use to try and keep our very high prey drive Pickle under supervision. Doesn't always work, but it slows her down enough sometimes. This was fairly easy to tame, a lot of runs with the mower, still some termite hills, but good enough for now. Let's go up to Mount Jelly. You've probably heard throughout this video a digger in the background, and that is because we've just hired a digger for the weekend. So here's Joe trying to get Mount Jelly under control a little bit. But this was the mountain of green waste we started when we first started clearing the land. It was enormous at one point, but it was just the easiest way of clearing. A lot of it has rotted away, which is exactly what we wanted. We have added to it quite a bit too, but trying to keep some sort of control. I did manage to save this little Christmas tree that was in the pile. I think I need to find a bigger pot, but hopefully he survives until next Christmas. Whoa, big frog!
What?
Frog!
Whoa, Toady! Save him.
Don't have anything to save him with.
Your hands.
Come back! No, he's gone. He's gone. Lastly, the old Veg Patch. I think this might be the biggest transformation. We started by pulling down a tree that broke in a storm, which unfortunately meant bringing down the grapevine with it.
I think.
Chopped back the enormous bay tree that has grown up here, and ended up making a new pile. We actually finished this area in the last couple of weekends. cleared all the mess we made and gave the battery a haircut so you could walk around it. Then dug up all the grass, nettles, weeds and brambles. This area was used as a veg patch by the previous owners, so it has the most amazing fertile soil. So much better than the solid clay that's everywhere else. So we hope one day to have our own, probably much smaller veg patch here, but for now we just covered the areas with wood chip because we had so much of it, and can use it as a lovely seating area, or just mostly to make it look 100 times nicer without completely transforming it. And there we go, back to the beginning. It has definitely been a challenge even just to get the land to this far, and that's not including anything inside the house. It is actually Joe's birthday very soon, and we are having a big garden party celebration, which is why we focused on the areas that we've done, to just get them to a not so much of an eyesore state. The sun is sometimes starting to shine, so more weekends full of gardening to come, and I'm going to try and take a lot more videos and updates as we carry on, even just for our memories. I'm just so excited to look back on videos like this in years' time to see just how far we've come.